On June 5th, 2000, the Wolves would win their second franchise championship.
Give me my cup back! For the second time in 3 years, the Chicago Wolves will hoist the Turner Cup! The Wolves are the 2000 champions of this league!
The win, on the road, saw them hoist yet another Turner Cup for the International Hockey League.
It wasn't quite as emotional, partly because we had gone through it once before. To beat Grand Rapids in GR and to win it on the road was certainly very gratifying. And it was a powerful moment. But it was different because we had been through it before. I had been through it. I think our team had been through it. So there was still that emotion for me.
It was the same cup and the same league, but it was a very different team than the one who'd taken home the same trophy 2 years prior for the Wolves. There were some familiar faces.
Young to save, rebound, Young! Oh, a marvelous save on the glove side!
Wendell Young, Steve Malte, Bob Nardella, but as with the birth of every hockey season, this team saw some new additions that would very much play a part in its eventual success.
Rouge walks it back in, he scores! He just scored the bullet wall! 3-0 Wolves!
Guys like Andrei Trefilov, who was part of a goaltending duo that included Young.
Andrei Trefilov set the table for the Wolves tonight. He was magnificent in the first period. Right now, he's 24 seconds away from the ultimate goal.
He would also have a memorable moment when the final horn sounded and the celebration commenced. Trefilov eventually posted up for that Wolves Game 6 Turner Cup win and would go on to win the league's MVP award.
There was just a lot of strong names on the team, and it was a full team. It was, all the teams had talent, all the teams had strong players, but that team was very close. Throughout the season, it felt confident that this was a team that was going to do something. They were meant to be.
This team was built only for this goal. Nothing short of this would be satisfaction.
That roster also featured Dan Plant, a Midwestern kid who kicked around the pros for a while, but who'd never won a championship. And Glenn Featherstone, a giant defenseman with a penchant for over-the-top goal celebrations. Both of these guys would make quite an impression after the game when the team was celebrating its win in the locker room.
We're walking to the locker room, and I see Danny Plant in the corner. He was crying.
It was Featherstone.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It was Danny Plant.
I was in the other room with Featherstone.
We had a lot of guys crying. But I went to get Donnie, and I walked over. I said, something wrong with Danny Plant. I mean, we just won, and here he is crying. I walked over to him. We were there, and I said, are you okay? Yeah. I said, what's the matter? He said, I never won a championship like this. I still tease him about this every once in a while he comes into
Feather
the
did the same thing. Feather was crazy over that.
You think about your kind of the culmination of all the work that you've put in, and granted it wasn't the NHL, wasn't the Stanley Cup, but it was our Stanley Cup, and we had a great team, and it was special for me personally. I remember going into the locker room after, and I was calling my dad, and I got a little emotional on the phone, and look up, and Buddy Myers is standing there, and to this day he kind of gives me crap about it, like just seeing a grown man cry. It meant a lot to me, and even to this day I come back to the Wolves just for whatever reason, fun or work, and you come here and you know that you have a bond with those guys, even away from just the hockey world, knowing Don and Buddy as people, pretty special to have them in my life.
So many guys go through the career and never win. And they've tried and tried and tried, and it's that elusive thing that you want. We talked about Rob Brown earlier, like to win a championship, you can have all these personal accolades, and if you don't win a championship, then it's bad, and you validate your career by winning a championship.
I went through it. I mean, who knows if you don't win that one or you don't win those ones. You had a great career, but I mean that's the ultimate prize. Nobody wanted to let anybody down. I mean, we were one, and we're going to find a way to win. We're going to find a way to beat you. Even if we weren't on, we're going to find a way to win.
There was also a pretty special person in the stands for the win.
Gordie Howe was there because at that time,
Marty was the assistant.
Marty was the assistant.
Nice, Johnny. Yep.
And I'll never forget, of course, Donnie and I in those days were like panicked, sitting, watching a game, shaking, both of us. And Gordie and his wife were in our skybox that night. We watched the game, and he said, and it was the most amazing thing, Gordie Howe said, "Don't worry," he said, "the puck has been riding on its side for most of the game. They're going to, meaning us, we're going to win." And I turned to him, I said, "What do you mean riding on this?" I mean, I had represented players and everything. I had no idea. And we're sitting there.
Yeah, he's the guy
away
that
from
knew
the
about
ice.
hockey.
And he said the puck was riding on its side. I had still to this day had no idea what he meant. But he was so calm. He said, "I can tell you, but this is going to go. We're going to win." And sure enough, that's the night. That's when Treffy kissed the ice.
Turns out Mr. Hockey was right, and the team celebrated, old and new alike, long into the night.
And through all the waves, the new winds they blow.
Tune in next time as Daring Greatly continues to chart the history of the Chicago Wolves in this exclusive docu-series.